Why was Three Girls Media and Marketing founded?
I realized that there was a real part of the US population and business that wasn't being served, and that's small businesses. I wanted to really support small and emerging companies in PR. I wanted more control over my family life and my personal life.
What was the breaking point to start the company?
It was the 2004 election cycle. At the time, I was working as a press secretary for the California state legislature, and I saw a couple of assembly members through the 2004 election cycle and helped them get reelected. And it was the first time in my public relations career that I really felt disingenuous about what I was saying to the public. I didn't believe what I was putting out there anymore. So I took a step back and took some time to do some career evaluation, realizing that I didn't want to continue in politics. So I needed to do something else. And at that point, I thought that I might as well forge out on my own and start Three Girls.
What are the differentiating points of your company?
Number one, the type of client that we serve, small and emerging companies. Number two, I don't believe in a retainer system. I wanted to provide opportunities for payment plans for small businesses, and we actually guarantee editorial media coverage to some of our clients that are on certain campaigns. And no other PR agency in the entire nation literally guarantees editorial results. So that's really a Three Girls Media and Marketing claim to fame, and something that we do quite well.
How did you know where to start?
When I started Three Girls Media and Marketing, I had no idea where to begin. I had no experience in business, had never run a company before, so I was on a tremendous learning curve to find out everything about banking, insurance, workman's comp, employees, setting up standards for customer service. So I started looking for relationships and I began networking. And that was so important to the beginning of my company, is networking with certain groups where I could meet individuals who had more experience than I did in areas where I needed expertise. And I started glomming onto them saying, can I please take you to lunch? Can I take you to coffee? Can you please help me? And I found amazing people that were willing to give me tremendous advice. And that's really what I built my company on, is relationships with other people who'd been there before me and had more business experience than I did, and took their expertise and really learn from them.
What is your motivation to conquer the obstacles?
The success of our campaigns really kept me going, showing that we could do the job and we were doing it well, and we had satisfied clients that were willing to give us great testimonials. And I think that was it.
Were you ever afraid?
Absolutely. Terrified. I still am sometimes in business when we forge out in a new direction, and you wonder if this is going to be the right move for the company, the right move for the employees, and the right move for the clients. I have to go with my gut and with the experience of others, like I always have, and use my resources and my network to help guide me in the right direction.
What did you sacrifice when building the company?
You know, the first few years I did sacrifice a lot of family time. I thought when I started my own business that I was going to have a lot of extra time for family immediately, and boy, was that wrong. That was an absolutely crazy notion. I was working weekends, I was working nights, I was working all day during the week. Once I was about 2 years into the business, I was able to start pulling back a little bit now that things were established and sort of running on their own.
The biggest mistake when you started?
The biggest mistake I made, absolutely without question, was bringing on a business partner very early in the relationship of Three Girls Media and Marketing. And it was a relationship with a friend that I didn't really know her business background and expertise. I lost the friendship because of it, and it hurt my business entity because of it.
Biggest mistakes young entrepreneurs make?
I think it's not being smart about where you get your education and resources. I think it's lack of networking is a huge mistake that small business owners make. And it's so important to get out there and meet people one-on-one, not just over the phone, not just through the computer or Skyping or something like that, but actually getting out in real life, one-on-one, and having those networking meetings with people.
Qualities needed to start a business?
Number one, boundless energy. It's not easy to start a business. I think number two, you need to have some sound ideas about financials. You don't have to be a financial wizard. That's what bookkeepers and CPAs are for, but you do need to know enough to be able to get into your bookkeeping and keep an eye on your business.
What influenced the growth of your business the most?
It's those personal relationships and getting out and meeting people, absolutely, that has helped my business explode.
Any childhood influences?
I did not grow up in a Beaver Cleaver household. I actually grew up in a very distressed and abusive household. From a very young age, I ended up raising my 3 younger brothers. I'm the oldest of 4. So I think I gained a lot of self-confidence through that experience and fear. I became fearless of having to do anything that was necessary to get the job done. I just took it upon myself to do it. It needed to be done, and there I was to make it happen. So I think those experiences in childhood really did help form me as an adult and let me know that I could continue to do anything I wanted to do. I could make anything happen if I worked hard enough or tried hard enough or found a way, and I've been able to make that happen.
What is the one advice to people who want to start a company?
Do your research. Know what you are getting into before you get into it. It's more than a full-time job. I think a lot of people go into it thinking, oh, this is going to be a fun little thing for me to do on the side, and they treat it sort of like a hobby, and it never really takes off, and they become disappointed, and then they let it go, and it never becomes anything. And understand all of the fundamentals before you actually say, okay, I'm going to open my doors. Be smart about it, be wise, and you'll be in a much better place to start than you would have been without doing that research.
Biggest achievement?
I was able to keep it going through the economy by reinventing ourselves and offering new and different programs that we weren't offering before was absolutely critical to my success and the success of the company.
Biggest failure?
Absolutely, without question, my biggest failure was getting into business with a partner who I didn't know well enough.
Best advice given?
Don't give up. Don't give up. No matter what you're trying to achieve, don't give up. If you can think of an idea, there's a way to make it happen.
Worst advice given?
I've gotten some pretty bad advice about hiring employees. I've decided that the advice that I was given was really not applicable to my particular type of business and what I was trying to build in a workforce. So I took that advice and tossed it aside.
Favorite thing to do to end the day?
Get in comfy clothes and relax with my husband and son.
Favorite place for a business lunch?
Cafe Campbell in downtown Campbell, I love. It's a great little restaurant. You can always get a seat. The food is great. It's very conducive to conversation, and it's a great location to have a business lunch.
Happiest moment of your life?
I have 2. The birth of my son, absolutely, and seeing him grow and the accomplishments that he's had, graduating from high school and now just starting college. I'm very proud of what my son has done. And then second biggest accomplishment is my recent marriage. I'm going into my 3rd anniversary. I still consider myself a newlywed, and I'm thrilled with my new husband.